everyone. We back on the show. We're right back at it. We just had Josie Rosa Gatlin as our guest. She's a yoga instructor. For those who want to do yoga, please contact her for services. She does incredible work, and that work has transformed her to where she is today. So our next guest is a man that I just recently met. I got information for an event. One of my friends, he was at one of my friend's school, and he's doing a great work for the community that is so needed right now, especially in Philadelphia, in lieu of all of this chaos, this craziness going on with the gun violence and the carjackings. There's a lot going on in the city. And he's one of the people out here doing it. One of the people that has putting his feet in the ground in action by being one of the many problem solvers in our community. So let's welcome the founder of the Action Justice Community Initiative. I said it right. I might have said it wrong, but let's welcome Mr. Mike Brown.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. I probably bought your business name. I probably bought it. So I know I'm missing a word or something. I know the initiative. I know it's Action Justice. I don't know. I missed the word.
Yeah. It normally takes people a second to get on it. Action for Justice Collective.
Oh, collective.
Or we just try to bring it down a little bit. The collective.
Like a collective. Okay, yes. It's an honor to meet you. I'm glad we had the World Credit because I got your flyer from one of my friends that works at Welsh. She was there that day, and you responded immediately. And I wanted to know more about your organization, what you do. We will get to more about who you are as a person, where you growing up. But can you tell us about your business and what you do for the community?
All right. Well, we are the Action for Justice Collective, and to put it short, because I'm a wordy guy, so sometimes I got to stick to the script. So to put it short, our mission is to improve outcomes for youth and families of color in our community by raising awareness of political processes and policies that adversely impact our people of color, promoting economic empowerment and financial literacy, wealth building, and cooperative economics, and promoting social justice and healthy relationship with law enforcement, and lastly, advocating for and practicing opportunities to strengthen our community and preserve families. So, basically, in a nutshell, our whole goal is to change negative outcomes in our communities to positive outcomes, and that's done through programming, that's done through resources, advocacy, anything that our community needs to prosper and move forward, and that's what we do. So.
Right, and I feel that I believe that we're on the same page because I've had a business called Path to Greatness where we serve young youth, and we talk about it. We've been doing it for 10 years now. Now we've been working in schools trying to have conversations with youth on different topics that affect their academics. We want to do any academics. We'll do math, science. We'll do all that. We talk about like stuff like mental health, like self-love, affirmation, relationships, friendships that kind of affect the academic part. Because a lot of times. So we focus on academics, so we don't. In fact, we'll deal with the root cause of why those kids are maybe struggling in academics. Maybe they're struggling because lack of being spoken to, maybe lack of being loved, lack of being encouraged. So, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been working with youth since I was 19 years old. And I first joined my home church. I'm a deacon at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Okay.
Pastor Waller.
Pastor Waller, yes.
Legend. My God.
Legend, yes.
And so I've been there since 94.
Oh, wow.
Since we actually came in, I joined right around the time that he was being installed. So we've actually been there the whole time, and it's been an amazing thing. But so yeah, I started working with youth there with a lady named Dr. Helen Richardson, and so she had a ministry that she had started, and so that introduced myself and my late wife to youth ministry. It's called the Career Development Center, and we got a chance to meet some really nice, strong young people at the time who've also went on to do good things. People in the there are people in the community, there family, family men, and then one particular young man who I had the opportunity to mentor, my wife and I. And this gentleman right now is one of the powerful leaders that we have in our community, is providing program, and I'm proud to say that he's also, it came so full circle that when I started working at this capacity, doing this, he had already had established his foundation. So I went to him and was like, "What did you do to start?" And so it came full circle, man. And a young man named is Kirk Berry, and so he's doing something amazing. But that's where it all started. It started almost 30 years ago, 29 years ago, back then, and then from there it went to youth athletics, which I'm still a part of, the E9 Youth Athletics Ministry, and then mentoring. Then I started working with PIAP, Philadelphia Youth Advocate Program, and was a youth advocate for 13 years, worked inside the schools. So everything I've done pretty much in my adult life has been somewhere around working with youth. And I believe what Christ say, if you if you're faithful over a few things, I will make you a ruler over many. And because we were faithful and we worked just where it was needed, and we worked with you. We just had a heart to see youth prosper. Because of that, he was able to turn what we did out of passion and service into into a career, And so we was able to get, to actually turn our whole life around, just working with youth and being available. So yeah, so that's kind of where we got started at, and we just continue to build. And I went from working for to my, my prayer was that one day I would be able to provide the kind of programming that I thought would be life changing and game changing for people. And so, God being so faithful, he does things in ways and orders that we do not understand. He does not ask our permission. He just said, "Give yourself to me, just follow me." And he started to order my steps and do different things, and started placing me in places, challenging me to raise up and to be a leader in places, because I was naturally a supporter, a follower when it came to like vision. If I had somebody in front of me who had vision, I would support them and help bring their vision to fruition. And he just kept moving me and elevating me. And it's no longer time for you to follow. It's now time for you to lead. And he just kept building me, stretching me, and advanced me in ways that I wasn't ready for him to advance, that I wasn't ready for him to do, but he did. And he's just amazing in what he does, and it's never a wrong move. So so that's what we did, man. That's how long we've been involved with youth ministry.
Yeah, like I said, first of all, thank you for your service to the youth for almost 30 years.
Praise God.
You were doing it since the mid 90s, so that was way before internet. So you was there with the kids had to speak to each other. The kids were outside.
They had to talk. They was outside. Yeah, man.
Outside, like they were not caring world, not the cell phone. They out there having fun and being safe, and then. Absolutely. When a light came on, you get right in the house. I've been doing youth work since I was about 14. So I kind of know where you at. So on a couple I spared off a little bit the corporate jobs that that was one for one reason. But my heart is for the youth because I want to be that person that get them something that I didn't have growing up. Like I didn't have people come in and talk about life, about relationships, about friendships, about affirmations, about forgiveness. We talk about it. I mean, we talk about. I had issues with forgiveness growing up, and I wish someone came to my school to talk to me about that. You know what I mean? That was relative to me that I can look at and be inspired by. So and now seeing a love black man doing that is a big thing for me. And I said earlier in my show, but my testimony. And now I work at a school. Now I work at my new job is a new school with a black male principal. So I never seen it. I think I saw it in passing, but as I go going to school every day, knowing the school working as a black male principal is a big deal for me. You know what I mean? It's for our community. You know what I mean? I think
absolutely.
And so I'm and all that. That's a blessing from God because now he kind of sees me. I see him too. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do some great work together. So I have some ideas I want to talk to him about because like our black boys didn't see that. You know what I mean? That someone in school is like them that could be a principal. And
Absolutely.
Yes.
Exposure is the best motivation. If you see it, and you can be it. If you can't even receive it and you've never seen nothing like it, how can I even be inspired by something that I've never seen before? But when I see somebody in that position, real live breathing, and then that's why it's so important to make the connections and to be able to stay to be there. I had a good friend of mine tell me that one of the best ministries is just presence.
Wow.
Just being available. We're constantly shown that we take for granted that when Christ used people, the biggest key is that person had to be available. You had to make yourself available. And even when you bless, even when you talk about people, even when you give somebody the roses and you talk to them, we all know that, well, to God be the glory. God did everything. But if you ever really want to be a blessing or give somebody an encouragement, thank you for making yourself available. It's almost saying like in the reverse way, thank you for not messing this up. Thank you for allowing God to use you, because we'll mess it up. You already know we will. One of our biggest things is to get out of our own way and let God do his work. Let God show you what he's going to do. Let God work through you. And a lot of times he wants to use us and work through us, but we get in the way. And we're not a usable vessel. We're not a yielded vessel. We let God, we say we want to be available, and then we want to put parameters on it. Sometimes the best thing is to be present and to just be used and to let people have access to you. That is, you won't have, when you get there, you won't have to come with 50-cent words or a bunch of speeches. Just be you and be there. Be open-hearted, open to receive, open to give. And you'd be surprised, how many lives that are changed just being there.
That's right. I call that. I've never heard that before about being present and being just showing up. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I think that sometimes kids know what kids go through throughout the week or day, and then you're on a schedule to come on a certain day or a certain time, and you just showing up can brighten their day. And quick story.
Yeah.
Me and my friend, another male, we another male, black male. We were at the school. We've been at school for a couple months now, doing workshops on Thursdays, and we did a workshop. I think right before the Super Bowl, the Eagles Super Bowl, and the Eagles. The Eagles lost, a tough loss, and
we're very aware of that.
Yeah, I still try to get over it. That week before, that week leading to that workshop at the Super Bowl was like really bad for him and for me. It was a lot of stuff, and I remember we got to the school. We got to school early for our next session, and we were staying outside the door. And before we came in, the kids were singing the song that we was doing last week before that kind of lifted our spirits. And
Yeah.
they knew we were outside the hallway, but as soon as they saw it, they did the song. Like there was no like, okay, we tell them they just start doing the song. Now that lifted our spirits because they remember our presence. They know that our presence was needed, and that lifted us up. Just to get us through that day. And then that made us feel so much better by the kids remembering what we told them the week before, and
Mm-hmm.
just help us move forward and help process that. So,
Yeah,
like I said, our presence matters. You never know because you never know.
absolutely.
And I'll be seeing kids that I haven't seen like 30 years, like 20, 15, 10, 20 years, and they say, Mr. Vaughn, and they smile, they had a smile on their face, not like they angry and not mad at you, but they had a smile on their face. If you made a smile on their face, that you did your job. And they have a smile on your face, they have a joy. See your presence, that means you did something for them. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I remember I did City Year almost 20 years ago. I would be in uniform, but when I be outside of the uniform, the kids still saw me. They knew who I was. I was like, this
Oh
is
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
they knew that I cared, and they knew me beyond my uniform. They actually knew who I was as an individual. So that's a big. Our presence matters, and our presence
Mhm.
matters just showing up. Because you never know what the kids are going through. You never know what adults are going through. You know what I mean? So just by saying honor your word and you showing up, that'll make so much better. Make you like make someone better, but also make you feel better that you know that you matter to them and that you are there to help them and that you are impacting their life in a positive way. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
so can you tell us what events y'all have done recently with the collective recently and what events you are coming up?
Well, I'll bring you up to speed right quick. We're talking about the collective. I gave you basically what our mission is, but our genesis really is George Floyd. We came
Mm,
together behind the murder of George Floyd. We was dealing with a lot of the it's like it was so impactful because I felt it's like I didn't know this gentleman, didn't know what was going on with him, and my friend Troy Gore, um, he sent me the video, and like literally, what the minute that it went viral, like I'm sitting in my driveway watching this video. We're actually about to come in here and watch Bible study on Zoom. It was on a Tuesday night,
mm,
and was about, and I don't even remember what Pastor taught that night. I was so messed up. Like I sat in my driveway for a second and literally cried. Was like something went wrong here. Something went wrong. So we went with that. That impacted us, and then we said, "What can we do? What can we do? What can we do?" So angry. Normally by that time we would have had we had men's Bible study we was doing with the football coaches and everything that we would be doing, and so we would have somewhere for this to come out for like us to get together and be like, yo, what did we just see? Like, yo, this is whack or whatever. We had there was no outlet for that. So fast forward, yo, listen, I talked to Pastor Miles over in Enon, and I said, Pastor Leroy Miles, I said, Miles, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, normally we'd have got together. He said, Mike, get together. He said, get the homies up on the Zoom, talk to them. Everybody rap. He said, I suggest that you get it out. He's a unbelievable therapist. Not only is he a friend, but he's a therapist and everything, but he's a man of God. So I'm like, so I really, what he says is impactful to me. So I said, all right, no problem. I said, thank you for that. We got together. It's about 20 of us on the Zoom, and we all venting and talking about what it was. And I said, hey, anybody feel like that we want to be the answer instead of the complainers? Stay on the call. Let's get some information out. Let's continue to meet. We met every Wednesday for a year. Every Wednesday for a year, just getting ready for these moments, getting ready for this time, getting ready to come out. We felt like we watched all of the riots go on and everything, and we was like, it's not our time yet. It's not our time. When it's our time, we're gonna be ready. But that's something else. We're not getting involved with that. And the Lord was very clear. Just prepare. So we just kept preparing. We actually went through therapy. We brought in a therapist. that actually went and talked to us about our feelings, how to process, how to deal with it, how to channel it into something positive. We did all of that. And then we started in 21, we started doing virtual town halls, and we started dealing with the COVID, dealing with the pandemic and COVID, and informing our people on what was going on in our community. And then from there went to dealing with the vaccine. We're not telling you to take the vaccine. We're going to educate you in a manner of which you can understand it. We're going to bring in nationally renowned people who can tell you about this. And matter of fact, we did it right on the same platform, StreamYard. And we some of our town halls got up to 5,000 views. We had people out in California looking at our material and things that we was putting out. And then it just started to slowly, and that actually was recommended for us to do, because we was looking for a place to kind of get in. And State Representative Steve Kinsey was like, Mike and Greg, and I don't want to go through here and not mention my partner, my vice president, Greg Barris. And so he said, Mike, Greg, get started on, he said, education. You said, you're doing education? Do health education. We did that. And then once we got through the pandemic stuff, we couldn't ignore gun violence. And that's just bringing me up to where we at now. Gun violence is the horrible, horrible plague in our community right now. And so everything that we're doing is putting our efforts into dealing with that one way or the other, whether directly or indirectly. We believe everything that we do, every time you impact a youth for the positive, you're either helping him not victimize somebody or not be victimized by gun violence. So everything we do works with that. So we have our programming right now that we're dealing with is we have our Philadelphia Gaming Initiative, where and that's part of what you've seen, where we have our own site over at 6101 Line Kiln Pike, and on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 5 to 7:30. And what that is, it's an initiative that we have a partnership with a group called iDay. They've been around in the city for 30 some odd years. Archie Leacock. We have a partnership with them in New Jersey CDC. And what we do is we combine esports gaming with a life skills curriculum. So we're teaching, we're getting into youth. We're bringing in youth by the games and the prospects of gaming, teaching them about gaming, teaching them about competitive gaming, how to monetize gaming, how to do different aspects, and just use it as a stress and trauma reliever. Because a lot of our youth, they've dealt with way more trauma than we can ever imagine. And it's like sometimes you just need a diversion. It's because it's an anti-gun violence diversionary program. That's how it's categorized. We're funded. We're funded by PCCD, and we have some good resources and a lot of good positive buzz around that. So one of the things that we do to expand that reach is we have what we call our travel units. And our travel units, we take them into schools, we take them into the public, anything that we can do to access youth and bring our message of anti-gun violence and our engagement through the esports. So we bring them out, we bring the travel units out, we set up the screens and everything. We have conversations with the youth about how they've been impacted by gun violence, and then how you can use gaming not only to deal with your stress, but also in advancement and career opportunities. So that's what we do with the gaming per se, with the gaming program. And then now we just started Real Talk with the Collective, and which is a program that was birthed out of our relationship with the Men Who Care of Germantown. They've been at Martin Luther King now for 3 years doing Real Talk with Men Who Care. And so in response to the murder of the young men over at Roxborough High School.
Oh, yeah, right.
Talking to the principal.
Yep.
Right, yeah, exactly. The Principal Smalley, she's a member of E9. She was talking to Pastor Weiler, and she was telling him that she needed support. And he said, "What do you need?" She said, "I need men." And so Pastor and I had a conversation, and so he actually met with a lot of the black principals in the city, and I asked him, could I be a part? Because I wanted to hear how we can help and be a part of that. So he brought me into the meeting. He's got a lot of information out of that meeting. It was it was a heavy meeting. Our principals are under fire. Our black principals are under fire from inside the school and outside the school. And that's the crazy part. Can't really expound much more on that, but the pressure that they're on from the district itself, and then from the parents and everybody around them, it's hard. So we started. So I said, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. The support that she needs is already going on over at Martin Luther King, and we believe in partnerships, effective partnerships. We got to be able to model for our young boys and our young ladies in our community that you're not by yourself. It's okay to stand with somebody. So we stand with these brothers. These brothers accepted us from the time that we came out, and instead of looking at us as competition, like who are these young, who are not young, but who is this new group coming in here, and they didn't take us like that at all. Because Philly can be very competitive. And they didn't respond like that at all. And we've been sharing information and resources ever since. So they said, hey, come into King, shadow us, see what we do. Take that over there to them. And that's what we did. And so we've been in Roxborough now for 2 weeks. So that's our second program, is the Real Talk with the Collective. And so we go in there, we talk to, and the youth that we talk to there, they're all climate issues. All of these gentlemen, they are, and right now we're only dealing with the boys. Eventually there will be a part brought on to deal with the young ladies, but we deal with the boys right now. And so all of these young men are young men who aren't going to class, multiple suspensions, multiple cuts, problems, just climate stressors. And we say, bring them to us. We got them. We'll take them. We'll take it from here. We're going to bring them in. We're going to engage them. And like I try to tell them, this is not class. This is connection. So you're not going to get hit with no pop quiz. You're not going to get hit with any of that. This is all about coming in and connecting, sharing, us giving you information and resources that you need to be successful and to help change your outcome, and you sharing with us some of your anxieties, some of your issues, some of your triumphs, things that you got going on. Share that, and let's have a place that you can share. Now we're talking about presence, being present, establishing relationship, and most of all, because the secret sauce is the consistency. Being there when you say you're going to be there, showing up when you say that you're going to show up, being consistent. That's the important part. Not taking no days off, unless of course it's a day off. But outside of that, staying in with them and realizing that, when I come here every week, I'm going to see the collective. I'm going to see this group of gentlemen who come in here and we got business owners, we have entrepreneurs, we got guys who've been part of Fortune 500 companies. We got guys who literally have their own business right now, who lead a business, come over, talk for an hour and a half, and then go back to work. You know what I mean? And so it's just that, and we need other guys that's willing to come in and be a part of this. So therefore, we don't miss. Every time you come in there, you're gonna see that star, that collective star on that shirt, that black or gray shirt, and you know that my guys is here another week. So I know that's kind of a long journey, but that's kind of how we got from there to where we are here, and that's where we're going, and that's what we're doing to go forward. We're not adding a lot of different programming because we really want to keep the main thing. So we have our PGI, Philadelphia Gaming Initiative, and then we have the Real Talk with the Collective. And that's what I have on that side. I have a whole nother thing going on with another foundation on the other side, the Lisa Teagle Brown Foundation. But we'll give you that if you need that. If outside of that, that's what we do. So we're in the community all the time. That's what we do.
And I see that y'all doing incredible work. And I definitely want to collaborate with y'all with the Real Talk Initiative because like I think I told you, we do Man Talk every first Sunday of the month. I would love to invite your collective to come speak about your story, how we can work partnership, because I'm planning I'm working on playing a men's event in June. First man talk event. We have world talk with bring the young men and the young men together, and the older men speak to the young men. You know what I mean? Had a power workshop. It'd be really powerful. And I definitely want to collaborate with you on that. And also I want also to collab. We're working on trying to start a man talk for middle school students, boys in North Philly.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much done. We just got to finalize the funding and the date that we can start because it's going to be every Tuesday, free routine to 4. So I definitely would love a representative to maybe come and lead those sessions with the young men.
Sure.
Because it's definitely because it's something that's needed in our community. I definitely want collaborate with y'all. But also Philly Game Initiative. I definitely want to collaborate with that. Maybe we could pop through for a session and do a session with talk to them about gaming, talk about things, how to affect that gaming affects relationships. I feel like that.
Right. And not just there, and the gaming is there. Don't get it twisted. But for me, everything gaming without life skills doesn't matter.
Right,
it doesn't matter at all. It's interesting, and I really take the premise from what Pastor Wilder has done with football. Football. As I try to people who don't know any better, I'm a little closer to the front on this, but when we first started this, everybody said, well, what does football got to do with church? Why does a church need a football team? Well, the church brought property that had a football field attached to it. So Pastor's thing was, hey, we got the biggest backyard in the city. We're going to fill it with kids. And so at that point there, programming started. He went to Riddell Crabb and said, hey, what do you think about us starting a football team? And so Riddell took that, and him and I just happened to be together at a time, and he said, hey, Pastor, when we start this football team, what do you think? Can you help? If I bring the football, can you do the admin? I said, yep, let's get it. And so kind of oversimplified, but that's what it became. But the premise was, Pastor's whole take on that was, if they get to the field, I got a chance to teach them this word and get them the word, because it's an athletic ministry. So now we're going to get them this word. He said, I need a couple of things. I need them to pray before and after the games, and I need you guys to commit to some level of Bible study. Once that happened, that's been you play E9, and we was never going to be a part of a church league. We were going to take this team and go right into the world and and stand right in the middle of these fields and hold prayer right in the middle of these fields all over the city, all over Pennsylvania, and now up and down the East Coast, and nationally now, because it's a nationally recognized program. And we was going to bring the banner and be about Christ. We was never going to be in the football business. It was always going to be saving souls business. And that's what that's what happened. And that's really the same thing with the gaming. While it's all about why the gaming is the thing that really draws the attention. It really is about holding that attention long enough to give you the things you need to proceed and move forward in life. You know what I'm saying? And so while we're not a faith organization, we're an organization being led by men of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So so even if I'm not giving you the address, I'm giving you, you getting the scripture. I just didn't give you the address. And I dare you to ask me why. If you ask me, you're gonna find out.
Right.
You don't ask me, I'm gonna give you the principle. But we are about we're a group of men that really is about bringing the other part to it. So while I love gaming, I'm not a gamer. I'm a programmer. I create programs for youth. I surround myself with people who understand that world and who can help me attract youth and work with youth in that world. But I am not a gamer. I am by no means. I'm learning this like everybody else. It's really about providing and giving the platform so we can get to the youth, hold their attention long enough to change their outcomes. And lastly, what I found that the Lord added to it was hope. It's just something I just keep running up against with youth are losing or they've lost hope. They don't believe it's ever going to get any better. My life is what it is. You're 15 years old and you think that your life is never going to get better. And so our goal is to come and restore and to give you a reason to hold on and to give you a reason to connect and to show you more than what you've seen. So if we can do that, give some hope, some encouragement by way of life skills, by way of anger management, by way of conflict resolution, entrepreneurial skills, and just exposure to different career options and opportunities, then we feel like we can make a difference.
Amen. Amen. So I know we're short on time. I know we gotta get going.
Yep.
Do y'all have a website where people find information about what y'all doing?
Yeah, we have a website. Actually, it's up, but what you see today probably won't be what you see next week because we are changing.
Right.
We're changing our platform a little bit. I've been told by like I said, we started out with George Floyd, and so we were really hardcore. So we're lightening the tone a little bit to be more inclusive. So when you go on afjcollective.org, afjcollective.org, when you go on to that, you'll be able to see some of those, pretty much where we've been, and then you'll be able to see where we're going. If you give it about a week and a half or so, you'll be able to see where we're going, and you'll see the programming that we're doing. And then we have our social media, which is AFJ Collective, Instagram, as well as Facebook. And then we have the Philly Gaming INT. Philly Gaming INT. That's the Philadelphia Gaming Initiative, and that's on Instagram. So yeah, those are just a couple of our badges and the things that we're working on with that, and a couple of our brands, and so those are things that we feel real strongly about. Absolutely. So you can find us there. Find us on find you on your social, find me on internet, and you'll see a little bit about what we do. And I encourage any man, if you're a part of something, or you have a heart to do something, and you have no place to go, please get with us. And we're looking to stand with some like-minded brothers to do a good work, and that's pretty much the situation.
Wow. Wow, Mike, thank you so much for allowing us to have for this conversation. We'll definitely connect again outside of this. We got some work to do and partnerships to be formed because we want to help these young men. Just be on the same boat about helping our young men see beyond it, past their situation right now. So we definitely will connect outside of here. So I want you to thank you so much for being part of the show. I really appreciate it. Share the video with your network. That's something how to get involved, and let's be supporters one to another and not be competition, but working together.
Absolutely, that's the only way we're gonna do it.
That's right. You have a good one, man.
Bless you, good brother. It's a pleasure being a part of the show, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.